Welcome. Now this would be a very quick class to help understand the paper 1 for CBSE NET examination. Now most of the students I have received queries regarding that we are good at our own subject but how to work around paper 1. So this class would be specifically dedicated to paper 1 preparation, and in the next 10 to 15 minutes we will understand based on the past 9 papers what has been the trend. Then we will analyze how come we can analyze which things are best for us and which things we need to work based on an individual perspective, and then what would be the main areas that you need to focus on for the July 2016, the upcoming NET examination, and what to work around in the last 5 days that are left. So let's start. First is understanding the topics. So these are the broad list of topics that we have for paper 1. Now these list of topics is based on the syllabus. Through our channel we have covered a lot of topics which are covering these sections in varied forms. So we have tried to cover the past year papers, solve the previous year's papers for the last 2 to 3 times. So you can go through the past papers. Definitely that would be of a great help. Now when we try to understand what things to work along, I would say it's important to work on an individual basis. On an individual basis, we need to know our strengths and weaknesses. So a student who is from a management background, I can say, would be good at communication section. Another student who is from computer science or electronics would be good at the mathematical section, and another student who might be from a background of geography might be good in the section on environment. So all these things vary from individual to individual. Since the syllabus is so diverse, we need to understand very smartly what things we need to work around. So if I try to classify the broad the question paper, I can say there are a set of questions which are 60, out of which I have to attempt only 50 questions. Out of which the passing marks is 40%, that is, if I do 20 questions correct, I would be eligible for paper 2 and 3. That's the minimum qualifying marks that I have for the paper 1. Now, first thing is you have a margin of 10 questions here. That implies that you can skip areas, but I definitely don't recommend students to skip certain sections, because there might be cases, as we will see when we will move across the previous year's analysis, that there are cases when there are set of questions that are asked only from one topic, and some of the topics may go with like just 1 or 2 questions. So it's important that you cover each and everything of the syllabus. Now there have been numerous queries from students coming up that the postal course that you provide is covered with 6 books. So how will we cover 6 books in such a short duration, and if we will devote so much time to paper 1, how will we work around our optionals? So here is how we need to work around. Try to analyze which areas you are strong in. Now if I say I am good at data interpretation, the first thing I would suggest to students who are good at data interpretation is, now with the last 5 days left, just leave that section, because you believe that you can solve those sections. You believe that you can solve the section on reasoning. So for students who are good in this section, must avoid this section for now. They should work on the topics in which they feel they are weak. Similarly, students who are good at economics or who are good at polity must leave those sections as such. Now, the time limit is 75 minutes for the paper. So for every question I have around 1 minute and 25 seconds for each and every question. That is ample of time. So time limit would not be a shortage, would not be short in most of the cases. Now let's understand the December 2015 paper. So we'll start from December 2015 and we'll move on to 2011 and see what things work around and what are the common things. Now December 2015, there were questions which were, I'm mentioning the typical questions. So you have the continuous and the comprehensive evaluation system by NCERT and CBSE. That includes the essay and the FA system, the formative assessment, the summative assessment, and then the national curriculum framework. So this was something new that was introduced in 2015. There has not been similar kind of questions in the previous examinations. So for teaching and research aptitude, the students must cover the CCE, that's the comprehensive, the comprehensive evaluation system along with the NCF, that is the National Curriculum Framework. Then you have the questions on writing styles. These were asked in 2011 and then repeated around in 2015. That means this topic of writing style is gaining importance again. So you must be very clear about the differences in the three writing styles and the highlights and the major aspects of these three writing styles. You can just do a Google search and find out about these and try to understand these. Now communication, this year there was higher importance to communication. The questions were more or less direct, but there were more number of questions from communication. For logic and argument, this time it was interestingly that there were theoretical questions. So you need to know very clearly what is a valid argument, what is an invalid argument, what is an expression, what is logic. We have covered this in a separate class, so you can just view that class of 15 minutes and score good on this section. Then square of opposition, we have covered it in 2 classes, and definitely there are 2 questions that have been asked based on the last 3 to 4 years paper analysis that I have seen. So square of opposition is a must to cover. With those 2 videos, simply with those 2 videos, I am sure that you can secure 100% on square of opposition questions. Then you have types of definition, the stipulative definition, the lexical definitions and so on. So you just need to browse and check out all the types of definition and work around those. 5 questions on environment, 5 questions on computers, and questions on higher education were based on, there were general questions, but one question was on Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan, that is one of the recent schemes of government. So the focus again is the recent schemes. In this, in a recent class on higher education that we have covered, we have talked about the recent schemes that are important for this time. Again, in today's news, there was again another scheme, that was UDAN, released by CBSE for funding for girls for higher education who are interested to pursue their career in engineering stream particularly. So that is another scheme that another scheme that is important. Might be it's too late for this year's paper, but definitely for December 2016 this would be an important question. So we have our whole paper that has been analyzed on this link, so you can just watch out the solutions for the previous year's papers here. Now moving on to June 2015. Again, June 2015 was a typical section because high emphasis was on teaching and research with nearly 15 questions. That is too much. As compared to the other papers, this paper had numerous questions on teaching and research. So teaching and research is something that you should not miss at all. Again, if you see, they want you to be a good teacher, and since you are pursuing, you are applying for JRF, they want you to have a good research background. So you have a huge number of questions from teaching and research, and that I believe can be this year too. So you can have high number of questions on teaching and research with questions on cognitive development theory given by Jean Piaget. So you have questions on theories of development. So you can have questions related to Pavlov's theory, you can have questions related to Skinner's theory. So it's good that you cover these sections from the postal course we have. So these sections are again important. Then again there was type of question on types of definition. As you can see, usually there is similar pattern that happens over last 2 to 3 years. So there might be a question again which is directly or indirectly related to definitions. So definitions is again an important topic. Then you have conversion of binary to decimal and decimal to binary. This is for based on computers. So if you have 10101, so that's a binary code because we write only zeros and ones. So how to convert this binary into decimal? So you have 1 into 2 raised to 0, 0 into 2 raised to 1, 1 into 2 raised to 2, 0 into 2 raised to 3, and finally 1 into 2 raised to 4, and so on. And then you add all the values and reach to the answer. So that is how you convert binary to decimal. And then you have decimal to binary. So we have the videos there, you can check out how to convert. Now this question was asked only just once, but still you need to know. Usually every alternate year you have questions, one question on direction, and then next set you would have one question on blood relation. But surprisingly in June 2015 you had questions both on blood relation and direction. So again this is important topic. And for June 2015 it was interestingly that current affairs was mainly from the section on environment. Usually current affairs recent happening questions are more from the section on higher education, but in June 2015 there were more questions on environment from current affairs. So again, current affairs from environment is important. Then 2014 analysis for December. You had simple questions related to coding, decoding, letter arrangement, series completion, blood relations. So these are all common questions that appear in most of the papers. If you are good in these topics, you are sure to score around 5 to 6 correct questions. So I can say 5 questions if you are good in DI, you can is nowhere to go. 5 questions if you do your reading comprehension correctly. Reading comprehension, I suggest you read the passage both in English and Hindi. Sometimes when you read it in Hindi, you are better able to understand the concept and you are better able to answer the problems. So I suggest for reading comprehension that you read. If you are stuck up somewhere, read the passage in Hindi. So you have 5 questions that are nowhere gone for data interpretation, 5 questions for reading interpretation, and then 5 to 10 questions based on reasoning if you are good in reasoning. Then computers, for 2014 I could say paper was much more simpler. So computers, there were simple questions based on common terminologies that you need to know. What is input device, what is output device, what are search engines, names of the search engines, types of search engines, and so on. Then you had one interesting question that was based on frequency distribution and skewness and kurtosis. Now this is important because usually there are not much questions asked from statistical backdrop, but that shows that you need to know the basic statistics, what is mean, mode, median, standard deviation, skewness, kurtosis, the standard probability curve, and so on. Then there were questions based on logic and a lot of questions from current affairs. So as you can see, as we are moving, we can see the trend has been changing from time to time. Now June 2014 the focus area was again logic. In 2013 lots and lots of questions were asked on culture and heritage. However, there was one of the famous conferences that occurred for culture that time occurred on culture and heritage, and based on that you had numerous questions for culture and heritage. And similarly in June 2013 you had lots of questions on space and defense technology, but never since there has been again a question on defense and technology. So we are not sure whether there can be a question on defense and technology or not, but still you need to know the basic terms and the basic terminologies for these. Now moving on to much previous year's papers, if we see, this is the breakdown of the question paper. So if you are good, if I say you are good in the section on DI, you have 15 questions, 12 to 15 questions that you are able to score here. Okay, then if you cover good on teaching and research aptitude, apply basic logics and basic concepts, you can score 20 questions around here, which could be correct. Now here the main emphasis was research and teaching. However, the questions were simple, but you must know the terminologies. That's the best thing to do. So you must be familiar with the terms. So you must have read the concepts on teaching and research aptitude that are given in the syllabus just once. So in the postal course you have the complete topics that are covered based on the syllabus. So you can just go through them quickly once, and that will cover you with the teaching and the research aptitude. Then June 2012, the basic thing was, that was very interesting to note here, that there were 10 questions which were exact replica of December 2011 that were asked in June 2012. That means solving past year's paper is essential. So what examiners do, they, based on the past year paper, they form new questions. So surprisingly, in June 2012, there were exactly 10 questions which were replica of December 2011, and it's very important now that you solve all the past year papers. So we have solutions for the past year papers. You can have the question papers here. You can just go through the questions and see what type of questions are asked and work around those. There was high weightage in pollution and environment with ozone hole, greenhouse gases, pollutants that were asked. Again, in 2012 and again in 2014, there were few questions which were asked on Venn diagram. So understanding the concept of Venn diagram, so this is the common region which is common to both A and B. This is the region which is exclusive only for A. This is the region which is exclusive only for B. So this is something you need to understand, and based on that you can solve Venn diagram. So if I say you have educators and lawyers, so which section would be only educators and not lawyers? So that would be this section. So these are some type of questions that are asked based on Venn diagram, which is good to know. Questions which were based on statement and assumption, mainly related to the square of opposition, were very tricky this time. And then 2011 you had standard questions related to definition of nature, definitions, what are the types of definitions, what should a teacher do, judgment questions, research, basic research questions. But 3 questions were very different, which were introduced for the first time. Now APA has been asked again in 2015, so it has been again important now. However, this was for the first time, it was asked in 2011. So questions related to bibliography, writing methodology, APA, and then citations, footnotes are important. Then again research factor, the research H index, you have the impact factor nowadays, which is very important. So these are some of the topics you must cover for the upcoming examination. And then what I believe should be important for this time is questions based on writing style, the MLA, the AP and the Chicago's writing styles. Then what are definitions, the various types of definitions. Questions on the square of opposition that could be secured with 100% marks with just the 2 videos that we have covered on square of opposition. Higher education, we have recently covered a video with new developments. Again, I want to emphasize here topics of choice based credit system, the national education policy, the Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan, Udaan scheme by CBSE are some of the important topics for higher education this time. Again, you have the LPG scheme, the subsidy scheme, that has been important, that is based on the general political background, that could be important and could be asked here. Then questions related to theory of argument and logic, that we have already covered in a separate video. We have talked about the coherent and the incoherent arguments, the valid and the invalid arguments. So these are some of the things that you must focus for the upcoming examination. With last 5 days, I believe these 5 would be the sufficient topics that you should see for the upcoming NET examination. We wish you all the best and hope you come up with good results, and I would like to hear from you once you are done with your examinations, and any feedback would be highly appreciated. Have a good day ahead.